More and more police officers have recently been required to wear body cameras due to recent events in the media where they have been proven not to take the oath of honesty very seriously. In the world we live in today, there's only one truth, and getting that truth requires these cameras. Resolved. All police officers should be required to use cameras when interacting with the public while on duty. A review of New Orleans cases found that in about 60% of cases, officers were wearing body cameras but apparently were not turning them on. Body cameras are needed in schools. A North Carolina school resource officer was blamed on the internet when the internet did not show the events leading up to it that made the officer act out. So in a way, this can help police officers. False claims will go down with body cameras. We will touch on a case in Ferguson where if body cameras would have been recording, the case could have been defined much simpler. And finally, body cameras can provide evidence when cases are not clear, such as stop and getaway criminals. No one can get away when a camera is recording. This is why we need body cameras.
Now, the school resource officers that were here the other day, some of you might have noticed that body cameras are on them. And for those of you who did notice them, are probably wondering, now why are they recording just on the students in the library? But I'm here to tell you that they weren't, and that body cameras are actually a good thing in schools. As Sophie has stated earlier, that a North Carolina officer body slammed a female student, but social media and the internet only showed the body slam to students shouting at it. Now they are now getting body cameras in that school because they believe that there was more to that story. A while ago, a principal in Burlington, Iowa, was accused of assaulting a student, but their surveillance cameras didn't show or support that claim. So they are getting body cameras, but they are taking into consideration that it could be a privacy issue, and they will only be turning them on for active calls, for arresting, and when they would be investigating a student or talking to a student, they would offer the student or ask them if they want to have the body camera turned on or not.
Alright, as my partner said, we do need body cameras in schools to catch false claims, but we also need them everywhere. In two cases, it shows that, in one of them, it shows that a man was standing on his front lawn, and he claimed that the cops did not try to arrest him or tase him, and he had no weapon. But someone was recording nearby, and it showed he was armed. The cops had tried to arrest him several times and tried to tase him before he got shot. In another case, 5 cops swore under an oath that they had pulled over a man after he forgot to use his blinker, asked if they could search his car, and he had marijuana in his car, and they arrested him. But the man claimed otherwise. Someone was recording, and it showed that the man had used his blinker, and the second he was arrested, or the second he opened his car door, he was arrested, and then they found the marijuana. In both of those cases, it showed that with body cameras, you can find things like that, and it will protect members of the police and the community.
If we employ more body cameras, we can help identify getaway criminals and witnesses that flee the scene before anybody arrives. They will also prevent false claims, as Andrew said earlier, and confirm if what a witness said was true or not true. These cameras will show the truth and what happens when things get really hairy really quick. Some of the time, witnesses leave before authorities arrive, and when a witness leaves, poof, there goes half of your evidence. A case in Ferguson, Missouri, in the Ferguson, Missouri case, Officer Wilson said that he shot Mr. Brown in self-defense. The witness's story is varied widely. If he had been wearing a body camera that day, we would really know what actually went down on that August afternoon. So in the end, we need to employ more body cameras if you want the truth, what's not true, evidence, new evidence, justice or no justice.
Crime, something police are made to stop. There are many methods for crime, but how useful are body cameras really? body cameras don't do anything to help lower crime. Our three main ideas are it doesn't, it affects our privacy, and AKA the Fourth Amendment. It won't decrease crime rate, and they are pointless if they are edited. Our first main argument is they will mistrust and violate privacy. The Round Lake Police Department dropped the body camera, and it wouldn't be easy to use. People will see the police body cameras be manipulated by police, and people will see that they can't be turned off or turned on easily, and that police would quit their jobs because of privacy. And if they turn on or off too late, then people will not trust the police.
In addition to what my partner said, I say body cameras are useless because they don't decrease crime rate. In an article by the Wall Street Journal Online, it said that the cameras affected the police's behavior at first, made them act better, but once they got used to it, they went back to their normal bad behavior. And even with the cameras, they still act really bad. And this mentions persist. And my reasoning is that they're designed to help with public relations, but if they aren't used or don't work at all, they're useless.
Our final argument is that police body cameras are not effective because they don't have to be recording and they can malfunction or be edited for a certain point of view. An article by Greta Kaufman tells about a call in San Francisco where 11 officers responded to a scene and 10 of them didn't turn on their body cameras. The 11th hit record by accident. He also explains how with no strict punishment laid out, officers don't feel the need to comply and turn on their body cameras. Recordings can be misused by supervisors and employment decisions, Williams says. Officers could easily turn off their cameras while on duty and hide bad actions that they don't want others to see. The police department could also edit the cameras to be more biased or to get out of things when their officers could have done something bad.
Team, take your 2 minutes to prepare your rebuttals. All right, teams, that's your 2 minutes. Affirmative, if you would take your place, you'll have a minute to respond to your opponent's arguments. Present your counters. You can go around the front too, either way.
opponents mentioned that it would be a privacy issue and it would violate the Fourth Amendment. However, it won't violate the Fourth Amendment because the Fourth Amendment states that it protects from unreasonable searches and seizures, but not protecting against recording in public. Regular people can already record you in public, so why would it be an issue for police to record you as well? And when they're on duty, they do have to record, and if they turn it off, it would immediately point fingers to the police, so it would decrease crime. Police brutality. And why would they edit it all? Why would they edit it if they wanted our trust? Also, in addition, in prisons they saw a 88% decrease in just them acting up, and when they're recording and just have them on, they saw a 50% decrease in regular people acting up. It would also, in turn, be suspicious if, as you said, 60% of them turn it off.
One final statement.
As you said, 60% of police officers turn off their body cameras upon service. As I have said before, it would immediately point fingers towards the police being the issue.
Thank you, Bill. May you take rebuttals, please?
As my opponent said, that body cameras will provide evidence for crimes, but some people, evidence shows that when people are recorded, they don't talk about the truth, and they will hide everything from the police. And secondly, my opponent said that body cameras don't intrude privacy since they can turn it on and off in the action. But I say, if police are trying to capture somebody, they don't have time. They forget about the body cameras. And if they're recording before them, and if they don't record before them, they can capture what's before the action. So.
Affirmative closing, please.
Now, that is why all of us believe that body cameras our officers should be required to use body cameras while on duty, while interacting with the public. They do need them in schools, but not only in schools, they need them on the streets to help support false claims and to be used as more evidence. And maybe if bad guys and bad girls and bad elders or whatever you want to knew that we had these body cameras, then maybe next year in Iowa, we won't have 5 dead cops. Thank you.
Body cameras can prevent bad behaviors, but how useful then can they actually be? Body cameras may be able to capture criminals in the act, but they still spread mistrust, violate the Fourth Amendment, and can malfunction or the clips can be edited. Stop body cameras or give up your privacy.
Round of applause for the speakers.